When we hear the word panic, we may think of a time that we experienced panic because of something occurring in our life. For example, maybe we had an upcoming exam that we were nervous about. During the exam, our heart may have raced and our palms may have started to sweat. But after the exam, we probably didn't give much thought to the panic we had experienced. It was a feeling of panic caused by a specific situation, and we felt in control of this situation. This video will talk about panic also, but what will be discussed today is very different. What I will discuss today is panic disorder. Panic disorder is defined by the occurrence of frequent panic attacks which are not caused by specific situations or objects. Panic disorder is also characterized by an impending worry of further panic attacks. For the individual to be diagnosed with panic disorder, the experience of a panic attack does not diagnose one as having the disorder. A panic attack is an intense feeling of terror, apprehension, and sense of utter doom. A panic attack is characterized by at least 4 of the following symptoms: physical symptoms, depersonalization, derealization, and then fear of losing control, fear of going crazy, and fear of dying are also commonly reported symptoms. Panic attacks can begin very rapidly and suddenly reach a climax of intensity within 10 minutes. The DSM defines panic disorder under the following criteria. Panic attacks are required to be of recurrent in nature and unexpected in occurrence. Secondly, they are triggered by unspecific situations and objects. And finally, for at least 1 month before diagnosis, the individual has to consciously worry about future panic attacks and alter their behavior. In psychology, the cognitive approach is one way to further understand, describe, and explain panic disorders. A model referred to as the misinterpretation of bodily sensations was proposed by Clark in 1986 and various others. This model proposes that catastrophic misinterpretations of bodily sensations are the basis of the development of panic disorder. Although this might seem difficult to understand, it simply means that a panic disorder develops alongside the occurrence of benign physiological sensations, and these are misinterpreted as catastrophic or of serious threat to the individual's well-being and safety. This misinterpretation leads to intense anxiety, which in turn can trigger further bodily sensations, and this can result in an escalation of panic. This is referred to as a positive feedback loop between bodily sensations, as it follows the pattern of catastrophic misinterpretation of bodily sensation, which further triggers multiple body sensations, and this results in a threshold of panic. The individual becomes watchful and fearful towards their own bodily sensations, as they fear that they may trigger future panic attacks. A study by Clark et al. In 1997 looked at how those with panic disorder would be more likely to misinterpret bodily sensations as catastrophic, in comparison with those with other anxiety disorders and those without any anxiety disorders. This study also assessed the extent to which the participants believed their misinterpretations to be true. This was assessed by a questionnaire called the Body Sensations Interpretation Questionnaire. This questionnaire contained 4 types of question, including panic sensation questions. To aid understanding, I want to give you an example of one of the panic sensation questions. You notice that your heart is beating quickly and pounding. Why? Answers to this question included answers related to exercise and excitement, but the negative response for this question was because there is something wrong with your heart. The findings from this study demonstrated that panic disorder participants rated more negatively on panic sensations questions instead of reasoning the experience. It was also found that they believed in their responses to these panic-related questions more than the other 2 groups in the study. In the same study, these results were replicated and the findings were found to be the same. Suffering from panic disorder negatively affects many aspects of people's lives, including their personal happiness and their ability to function in various roles. Approximately 1 out of 100 people experience panic disorder. It is twice as common in women than men. It isn't known exactly what causes the disorder. The occurrence of traumatic life events, genetic and biological reasons, fight or flight reflex problems are associated. Panic disorder can occur with other serious conditions such as drug abuse, alcoholism, and depression. One type of treatment of this disorder is cognitive behavioral therapy. A CBT therapist will work with the individual who has panic disorder by talking through the experiences and the behavior of the disorder and formulating ways in which the sufferer can deal with their disorder by altering their behavior, for example. CBT has been demonstrated that it can have long-term effects in the recovery of the individual. This is the end of the video on panic disorder. Here are some national helplines that support people that live with this disorder every day. Thank you so much for your attention.
Free created using Powtoon.